Welcome to The Explainer, where we're breaking down the data behind a huge SA20 rematch, Durban Supergiants versus MI Cape Town. One team's looking for a repeat, the other is out for some serious revenge. Let's see what the numbers have to say.
Right, so this isn't just another match on the calendar. This is an immediate do-over after their first game was an absolute classic. And really, it all boils down to one question. Can MI Cape Town get their revenge, or are the Durban Supergiants about to make it 2 for 2?
And when I say classic, I mean it. I mean, look at this. Almost 450 runs scored in the game. It was a total nail-biter. Durban got the win, posting a massive 232. But you know they have to be a little worried that their bowlers let Cape Town get that close. And now, they're right back at the same ground, Kingsmead, for round 2.
Okay, so in a game this big, who are the players that could actually decide this thing? Let's take a look at the stars who could really turn the tide, because both of these squads are absolutely loaded with talent.
You know, both of these teams are packed with incredible players, but they're walking into this game with totally different mindsets. The Supergiants are feeling good, they've got that win under their belt, but MI Cape Town, even though they lost, they know they have the firepower to chase down pretty much anything. And that sets up a really interesting clash.
For Durban, you have got to start with Jos Buttler. I mean, the former England captain has just had an unbelievable year of cricket. We're talking over 1,500 runs at a ridiculous strike rate of over 156. That's not just good, that's elite, game-changing form.
But MI Cape Town's got an answer, and his name is Nicholas Porin. This guy has been on an absolute tear, racking up almost 1,900 runs himself. And get this, he crossed the 10,000 run mark for his career in T20s this season. That is a massive milestone. He's a threat from ball one.
Okay, let's talk about the bowlers. For Durban, the young spinner from Afghanistan, Noor Ahmed, is an absolute game changer. 85 wickets in a year is fantastic, but it's that economy rate, just over 7 runs and over, that tells the real story. He can just completely put the brakes on an innings right in the middle overs.
And then you have Ryan Rickleton for MI Cape Town. Wow. To say he loves this tournament is an understatement. The guy practically owns it. He's the leading run scorer in the history of the SA20, and his stats are just mind-blowing. An average of almost 47 and a strike rate over 164, that is just an insane combination of consistency and pure power.
So we've met the key players, but the stats from their first match just a few days ago, they tell their own story, and they perfectly set the stage for what's about to happen next.
Yeah, Rickleton wasn't just good in that first game, he was legendary. He completely took apart the Durban bowling attack and smashed his very first 100 in the SA20. He almost single-handedly won them the game. And if you want to see just how dominant he was, just look at this number. 11. That's not a score, that's how many sixes he hit. In one innings. Just an incredible show of brute force.
So when you look at the leaderboard from that first round, you see just how far ahead Rickleton was. But hey, don't sleep on Durban's Devin Conway. He got his team off to a rocket start with 64 runs at a massive strike rate. That's how many runs per 100 balls, of over 190.
But, individual brilliance is one thing. The pitch itself, that's a whole different story. Kingsmead in Durban has its own personality. So the question is, will the conditions help out the batters or the bowlers this time around?
Okay, so the first match was a total run fest. But is that what usually happens at this ground? Well, if we look back at the history, we get a much clearer idea.
The data from the last few years is pretty telling. There is a huge advantage to batting first here. The team that puts a score on the board wins over 56% of the time. So winning the toss and batting first is a big deal.
Now, check this out. When you look at the bowlers, both the fast guys and the spinners take wickets at about the same clip. But the key difference here is the economy rate, how many runs they give up. The spinners are way more economical. They give up almost a run and a half less every single over. That makes them absolutely vital for controlling the game.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Even though that last match had a crazy high score, the trend at Kingsmead has actually been for scores to go down. It's gotten tougher and tougher to bat here, with the average first inning score dropping from over 160 all the way down to just 151 this year.
So we know the pitch favors batting first and that spinners have a big role to play. But forget the conditions for a second. What does the history between these two rivals tell us? Is there a clear favorite?
Well, when you look at their last 5 games against each other, one number really jumps out. 3. That's how many times the Durban Supergiants have come out on top. Let's dig into that a little more.
So yeah, the numbers don't lie. Durban has definitely had the upper hand lately. They've won 3 of the last 5 meetings, and of course, that includes that tight 15-run victory in the very first game of this season.
Okay, let's put it all together. The player form, the pitch conditions, the head-to-head history. What happens when we feed all of that into our predictive model? What's the most likely outcome?
After crunching all those numbers, the model gives a slight but pretty clear edge to the Durban Supergiants. It's projecting a 55% chance of victory for the home team and a 45% chance for MI Cape Town to even the score.
And if we dig a little deeper, the model gives us some cool predictions for the players. It thinks we're going to see a big showdown between Joss Butler and Ryan Rickleton for top batter. And here's a fun one to watch for. It's picking Jason Smith from Cape Town as a dark horse to hit the most sixes.
So here's the bottom line. All the numbers, the history, the win probability, the home field advantage, everything is pointing to a Durban Supergiants win. But, and this is what makes sports great, games aren't played on a spreadsheet. The one big question that's left is this. Can one single player who is in unstoppable record-breaking form, like Ryan Rickleton, be enough to completely defy all the odds? We are definitely going to have to watch to find out.